You're all pretty much f***.
Michael Douglas is a famous actor, producer, and representative of the famous acting dynasty. He's made a successful career akin to his father's, Kirk Douglas, and became a true Hollywood legend. We will tell you about his path to the top in this video. How Michael Douglas lives and how much he earns. Michael Kirk Douglas was born on September 25, 1944, in the young acting family of Kirk Douglas and Diana Dill. The boy was born in New Brunswick, New Jersey, but soon the family moved to New York. 2.5 years later, Michael had a younger brother, Joel. The family lived in a one-room apartment in the Greenwich Village area. Right now, our hero is called the heir to the show business's royal dynasty, but back then, his parents were just starting their careers. Kirk spent most of his time in California filming under a studio contract, and his marriage with Diana couldn't withstand it. Michael's parents divorced when he was 6 years old, and he stayed with his mother. 7 years later, she remarried. Stepfather became the first adult Michael could talk to about anything, and thanks to whom the young man felt confident for the first time. But at school, none of the teachers could restrain his violent temperament. Even though Michael studied well, he skipped classes and talked back to the teachers. For some time, the young man worked at a mobile gas station. Some days he was an employee of the month, and other days he would track cars and steal spare parts from them with his friends. In addition to his stepfather, the authority for Douglas Jr. was his father, who managed to become a movie icon for the whole of America. Michael was so impressed by Kirk's films and the time spent with him on the set during the summer holidays that he also wanted to become an actor. He often asked his father which doors to knock on to break into Hollywood, but he was categorically against his son's choice of profession. However, when Michael enrolled at the University of California as a dramatic arts major and played in theatrical productions, Kirk came to his son's every performance, no matter how busy he was. At university, Douglas became friends with Danny DeVito, who later became his flatmate. They rented an apartment in New York for $150 a month. At the same time, the young man earned a living by delivering coffee at the cinema and working behind the scenes. Nevertheless, Kirk contributed to the beginning of his son's acting career. Together, they starred in and produced the 1966 film Cast a Giant Shadow. The following roles came only several years later. In the late 60s, early 70s, Douglas starred in several TV series and films such as Hail Hero and Summer Tree. On the set, the young man met a young promising actress, Brenda Vaccaro. The couple was inseparable for 6 years, living like hippies and vowing eternal love to each other. Michael calls this time the most wonderful in his life. But the relationship ended abruptly. Brenda just got in the car and left. The young actor's first significant work was the role of an inspector in the TV series The Streets of San Francisco, which he received in 1972 and played for 5 years.
I've got 2 eyewitnesses.
What did they see?
Police brutality.
Oh, come on now. Joe Landers? Look, he may be a little hard-nosed, but he never manhandled anybody. I don't buy that. All right, did they see the gun go off?
Not who was holding it, no.
His partner on the set was Kirk Douglas' friend Carl Malden. He called Michael the son he never had and insisted on his participation in the project. Interestingly, even after moving to Hollywood, Michael continued to pay his part of the rent while DeVito remained in New York. Also in 1972, our hero appeared in the films When Michael Calls and Napoleon and Samantha. The latter has become a classic of American children's films. Later, Douglas was caught up with the work behind the scenes. He directed one of the episodes of Streets of San Francisco and began working on the film adaptation of Ken Kesey's novel One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The rights to the film adaptation belonged to Kirk, but he abandoned the hope of implementing the project, so he handed them over to his son. The film surpassed all expectations, winning 5 Oscars and bringing fabulous profits to the Douglas dynasty. Since then, our hero has acted as a producer in many films in which he starred. In 1977, Michael married the daughter of an Australian diplomat, Deandra Luker, and a year later they had a son, Cameron. According to both spouses, their life together was like a volcano. It subsided for a while, then erupted with terrible force. And there were a lot of infidelities. Deandra said in an interview that she once caught her husband with her friend, but each time she forgave him. In 1978, the thriller The China Syndrome was released. Douglas's payout in which amounted to $262,000. For his next film, the sports drama Running, Michael trained a lot and ran about 55 miles a week. In addition, he stopped smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and lost almost 13 pounds. Then, the movie It's My Turn came out, but a successful career had to be put on pause for several years. In 1980, Douglas was seriously injured at a ski resort and returned to the screens only in 1983 with the crime thriller The Star Chamber. It didn't become widely known, unlike his next work, the adventure film Romancing the Stone. Michael, who also became the producer, bought the script for $250,000, and as a result, the box office around the world exceeded $85 million.
Oh, God damn it, what a ride, huh? I'm telling you, this has turned out to be one hell of a morning.
Equally successful was the sequel titled The Jewel of the Nile in 1985, although Douglas took part in the sequel without much desire. Soon, the musical A Chorus Line was released on the screens, and in 1987, the world saw 2 hits at once, Fatal Attraction and Wall Street. For the former, Douglas received $13 million, and for the later, 2 major film awards, a Golden Globe and an Oscar. In addition, the role of the stock market shark and concurrently the main villain ironically inspired many people to make a career in economics and the stock market. In 1989, Michael presented to the audience the crime thriller Black Rain and the comedy The War of the Roses. In the latter, he worked with his friend Danny DeVito. Then, he produced several films, including the action movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, Double Impact, and starred in the military drama Shining Through. But the absolute hit of 1992 was the thriller Basic Instinct, for which Douglas received $15 million.
My sex life's actually pretty shitty since I stopped seeing you. Started developing calluses.
According to Michael, shooting the sex scene with Sharon Stone was torture because they had to repeat the choreography for 10 hours of the shooting day for 5 days in a row. In addition, the actor forbade shooting himself naked from the front. By the way, he performed almost all the car stunts on his own. The role of the detective from Basic Instinct became one of the brightest in Douglas's career. But he didn't get stuck in one role. In the next movie, Falling Down, he appeared in the image of an average guy who cannot stand the injustice of the world. To participate in the project, Michael canceled a family vacation and later called this role his favorite. Then, the actor added several roles to his filmography in the films Disclosure with a payout of $12 million and American President. While working on the latter, Douglas discovered a distant relationship to U.S. President Richard Nixon and both Bush, and the payout amounted to $15 million. His intuition for hits didn't let the actor and producer down. Each of his next projects was a great success. For example, the adventure film The Ghost and the Darkness and the thrillers A Perfect Murder and The Game, for each of which Michael received $20 million.
Oh, no, you've got to be kidding.
What is happening?
This is what I was trying to explain to you. This is a game.
Meanwhile, big changes were taking place in his personal life. Since the mid-90s, their marriage with Deandra was a conformity, and they just couldn't agree on the terms of the divorce. Even the marriage contract didn't make the task easier because Deandra wanted to increase the amount of compensation and Michael wanted to reduce it. At the same time, he was invested in a new relationship. In 1998, at the screening of The Mask of Zorro, he saw Catherine Zeta-Jones and was so fascinated by her that he immediately declared his desire to become the father of her children. Later, the actress would admit that she immediately fell in love with him, but didn't want to have an affair with the taken man. However, 6 months after they met, they would spend hours on the phone talking about everything in the world. After that, the relationship developed rapidly. On New Year's Eve of 1999, Catherine was already pregnant, and Michael offered his beloved a long-prepared ring with a 10-carat diamond surrounded by 28 smaller stones. Its cost is estimated from $1 to $2 million. The actor's first wife then, without sarcasm, told reporters that he would have to change his religion to one where polygamy is allowed. But Douglas was already ready to agree to all Deandra's conditions. So in 2000, he paid her $45 million and left her a mansion in Beverly Hills, as well as half of the estate in Majorca. By the way, Michael tried several times to find a buyer for his luxury property, but since the ex-wife remained the co-owner, he took it off the market. In August of the same year, Catherine gave birth to their first child, Dylan Michael, and in November, they had a gorgeous wedding of the year, which cost the actor $2 million. However, $1 million was covered because the magazine OK paid for an exclusive photos from the magnificent celebration. Interestingly, Michael and Catherine were born on the same day with a difference of 25 years. Personal affairs didn't prevent Douglas from actively acting and producing. So, in the same year 2000, he presented the movie Wonder Boys and together with his young wife appeared in the thriller Traffic. These two projects brought our hero $15 million. This was followed by the films One Night at Nicole's, Don't Say a Word, The In-Laws, and It Runs in the Family. The latter involved representatives of 3 generations of the Douglas family, Kirk and Diana, their son Michael, and grandson Cameron. In 2003, the family of Michael and Catherine welcomed their daughter, Catherine Zeta. After her birth, the celebrities moved to Bermuda, where our hero's mother is from. For more than 10 years, the couple lived in a quiet life, leaving only for filming, and the children didn't even know what their parents were doing. Their daughter recalled that as a child, she was sure that the main occupation of her dad's life was to bake pancakes for breakfast and please mom. The couple still owns this cozy nest, although they tried to sell it in 2019 for $10.6 million but changed their minds. After a short break in his creative activity, Douglas returned to the screens in 2006 with the films The Sentinel, You, Me and Dupree, and a year later presented the comedy drama King of California. Then came the movies Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, Beyond a Reasonable Doubt, Solitary Man, and the continuation of the 1987 drama Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps.
You're the ninja generation. No income, no job, no assets. You got a lot to look forward to.
A busy period in his career again coincided with the vicissitudes of private life. His eldest son Cameron was a drug addict, and our hero had to forbid him to approach his family. In 2009, Cameron was accused of smuggling, which led him behind bars. By the way, Michael himself also suffered from addiction and in the 90s received treatment in a rehab clinic. His son also managed to get over a dangerous addiction, and Catherine Zeta-Jones at that difficult time became a real support for the family. But soon, another misfortune struck them. In 2010, Michael was diagnosed with laryngeal cancer. Catherine did everything to help her husband heal, but soon she couldn't stand the stress, and she started showing signs of bipolar disorder. Her periods of incredible activity were replaced by the deepest depression, and Michael didn't take his wife's problems seriously at all. These events almost put an end to their union, and they seriously talked about divorce, but still managed to make up. In 2012 to 2014, such films as Haywire and So It Goes, Beyond the Reach, and the biographical drama Behind the Candelabra were released. In the latter, the actor played the legend of American show business pianist and entertainer Liberace. And this role became a real gift for him after his illness. He trained for a long time, recreating the voice of his character and studied his piano playing technique. Also during this period, the actor starred in the comedy drama Las Vegas, along with Robert De Niro and Morgan Freeman.
It's just winding up a little too fast, and I'm feeling old and alone.
In 2015, Michael joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe playing the role of Hank Pym in the movie Ant-Man. He appeared in the same image in other projects, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers Endgame, and the animated series What If. In addition, during the period, the actor starred in the action movie Unlocked, the thriller Animal World, took part in the voiceover of the children's series Green Eggs and Ham, and presented the series The Kominsky Method. For this comedic role, which is rare for him, Douglas received another Golden Globe.
Why?
It is fine.
Which is what I said.
No, you said it with an attitude, and you said, fine.
Forgive me. Fine.
Jesus, let's just order.
Fine.
In addition, our hero worked as a producer on the prequel to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The series rashade about a psychiatric hospital nurse. At the end of 2018, Michael Douglas's star was unveiled on the Hollywood Walk, dedicated to the 50th anniversary of his career. The actor admits that only work helps him keep in shape and to be fit, and he has a lot of projects. In February 2023, the premiere of the fantastic action movie Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania took place. where Douglas again played Hank Pym. The filming of the series, Franklin, about American President Benjamin Franklin, has already begun, and work is underway on a historical series about the relationship between two other presidents, Reagan and Gorbachev. Neither age nor illness affected Douglas's intelligence, and he was still surprising others with his ability to instantly remember the names of people he sees for the first time, and to notice the slightest nuances that distinguish the manner of the interlocutor's behavior. He loves golf and Formula One, and also does a lot of charity work. As the UN peace envoy, he is on a mission to draw the world's attention to nuclear disarmament and the protection of human rights. Philanthropy Douglas's family affair. Through the registered fund, they send money to various organizations. The entire inheritance from Kirk Douglas of $61 million was also sent to a charity, especially since Michael's fortune greatly exceeds his father's capital. It is estimated at $350 million earned as an actor and producer. In addition, Douglas invests. However, after the 2008 crisis, when he lost about 35 to 40% of his fortune, Michael became more conservative in investments. Douglas owns a valuable real estate portfolio with assets all over the world, which he gradually sells for his own benefit. He owned a plot of land with an area of more than 12 acres in Westchester County, New York, which he bought in 2015 for $11.3 million and sold in 2019 for $20.5 million. Around the same time, he and Catherine paid only $4.5 million for a house in the wealthy suburb of Irvington in New York State. The 3-story Georgian mansion has 8 bedrooms, 12 bathrooms, several living rooms and dining rooms, an indoor swimming pool, and a picturesque view of the Hudson River. Douglas and his wife also own a large apartment in New York City overlooking Central Park. The 15-room penthouse includes a master bedroom and a cozy library. In 2021, the property was put up for sale, but apparently hasn't found its buyer yet. The actor can rarely be seen in commercial advertising. The exception is the German electronic stock trading company Comdirect. But the most interesting one is the 60-second video for the FBI, in which Michael appeared as his character from Wall Street. It is known that Douglas owns cars of different brands and times, from vintage to modern, in particular the Mercedes-Benz Army Type car and the Toyota Prius. Now, the Douglas acting dynasty is continued by Michael's eldest son, Cameron. But so far, his films haven't enjoyed great success. And which movie with this actor do you like the most?
Okay. 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 Okay.
How Catherine Zeta-Jones lives and how much she earns. Catherine Zeta-Jones was born in Wales on September 25, 1969. The prefix Zeta is not part of her surname. It was originally her second name, given in honor of her maternal grandmother. According to family legend, the mother of that grandmother arrived in the UK from Ireland on a ship called Zeta and named her daughter after it. When the girl started her acting career, she decided to include her middle name in her stage name in order to stand out from other Catherine Jones. Her father, David James Jones, a Welsh descendant, worked in a bakery as a baker and a cashier to feed his large family. Aside from little Catherine, they had 2 sons. The family was poor. They lived in a low-income neighborhood in the coastal Welsh town of Swansea. Mother Patricia was a seamstress who helped them make ends meet. This lasted until the 80s, when the family suddenly became wealthy. The parents bought a lottery ticket, which brought them £100,000, which allowed them to not only buy their own pastry shop and a decent house in a good area of Swansea, but also to pay for a dance studio for their daughter, which she dreamed of. It should be noted that no one in the family except Catherine was interested in art. At a very young age, she was on the brink of death because of illness. That's why she was raised like a princess, surrounded by attention. By the way, the little scar on her neck was left as a result of the tracheal surgery that saved her life. However, the girl didn't grow up spoiled, striking others with her discipline. At the age of 4, Catherine danced on holidays and sang in the choir at the local church, where everyone who saw her predicted a great acting future for her. From the age of 7, she began to engage in choreography with full dedication, making herself a strict schedule for the whole week. 3 years later, Jones was already shining on the stage of the City Theater, and after another 4 years, she managed to pass the casting for the production of The Pajama Game. This was her first serious role. After the tour was over, the young actress left school without obtaining O levels and went to London. There, she stormed all kinds of castings, not missing a single opportunity to make it to the big screen. During this period, she had a passionate relationship with the famous TV presenter John Leslie. Catherine was so carried away by the charming Scotsman that she planned to spend her whole life with him. Alas, his personality turned out to be too difficult. The future star suffered from fits of jealousy from her partner, which eventually led to a breakup. As for her acting, at first Catherine's catch was small. She was chosen only as the second understudy to the lead actress of the musical 42nd Street. The year 1990 was more successful for her as she was cast for the role of Scheherazade in the film 1001 Nights. The young, talented beauty was immediately noticed, and a year later, she got a role in the series The Darling Buds of May. Critics and British viewers were delighted, and very soon, Catherine headed off to conquer Hollywood. She immediately had a chance to play in the episode of George Lucas's television series, The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which boosted her career in Hollywood. Legend has it that her role of dancer Maya impressed Steven Spielberg so much that he advised to invite her to the role of Zorro's beloved. According to another story, Spielberg noticed the actress while watching the miniseries Titanic, which was released in 1996. In the meantime, Catherine starred in a number of TV movies, including Christopher Columbus, The Discovery, Splitting Heirs, The Return of the Native, and Catherine the Great, as well as the miniseries The Cinder Path. They were followed by the comedy drama Blue Juice and the superhero movie The Phantom, though they were not very popular with the audience. During the same period, the actress was offered to play the role of Trinity in the cult classic movie The Matrix, but she refused. In the mid-90s, the girl was in a relationship with the Scottish actor Angus MacFadyen. They were even engaged, but they broke up before the wedding. In 1998, the fast-paced action film The Mask of Zorro stormed onto the screens. The shooting was also extremely intense and was accompanied by a lot of curious details and events. The role of Elena could go to Penelope Cruz, Swedish actress Isabella Scorupco, or passionate singer Shakira. But it was Catherine who got lucky. In order to fit into the role perfectly, the actress, as she usually does, eagerly began to learn disciplines useful for the filming: horse riding, fencing, dancing, Spanish. She was particularly successful in learning the latter. So much so that people who didn't know her biography could swear that she was a real Spaniard. The film was a resounding success, earning $250 million at the box office with a budget of $95 million, and also scored 2 Oscar and Golden Globe nominations.
Would you care to try something more robust? Or do you feel unequal to the task?
No, on the contrary, Don Alejandro. I think only of your distaste for perspiration.
In the same year, another small event happened that affected the rest of Zeta-Jones' life. The actress made an unforgettable impression on the Hollywood titan Michael Douglas, so much so that he immediately wanted her to become the mother of his children. So, as soon as he could, he started looking for a way to meet her. The first conversation happened during a festival in France and did not impress the actress. The experienced seducer Douglas played his trump cards right away, dumping his plans on her. But Catherine just laughed it off. But the actor had no plans to give up. He showered the girl with gifts, flowers, and she didn't even notice how she began to talk to him for hours on the phone and also to dream of watching movies with him and cooking delicious dinners. From that moment on, persistent courtship turned into a traditional relationship. In 1999, Catherine was featured in the films The Haunting and Entrapment. The latter is called one of the best crime films. It made a real splash in the industry. The main male role of an imposing thief was played by Sean Connery. Zeta-Jones kept up with her legendary partner and gave her best on the set. So, she performed a dangerous stunt, jumping from a ceiling beam onto a table while doing a backflip. The film earned $212 million at the box office with a relatively small budget and was very popular with the audience. Fans especially note the scene of Catherine passing through a grid of laser beams in which she shows the wonders of plasticity and grace. Also noteworthy are the shots when Connery's character comes to interrogate Catherine. She was lying under just a white sheet, and at this moment she is actually completely naked.
I called you at 4:30 this morning.
I was home in bed.
You didn't pick up.
I didn't want to pick up.
You had company.
He came in the window.
How romantic.
I think that's how he got in.
The year 2000 was marked by a landmark event for Catherine and Michael, who learned that they would become parents. On New Year's Eve 2000, he proposed to his beloved and presented an antique ring worth $1 million. However, the purest 10-carat diamond and Michael's passionate desire to marry his beloved as soon as possible were somewhat overshadowed by the fact that the actor was still legally married. To solve this problem, the groom needed to give his ex a huge payoff of $45 million, and according to other sources, $60 million. In August, the Douglas couple had a son, whom they named Dylan. And in November of the same year, they had a luxurious wedding worth $1.5 million. The celebration took place at the famous Plaza Hotel in New York, and the bride's dress alone cost $250,000. The stars' guests, including Tom Hanks, Brad Pitt, Sharon Stone, Steven Spielberg, Jennifer Aniston, had fun and congratulated the newlyweds. Since Catherine and Michael understood the absurdity of trying to hide from the press on such a day, they pulled a trick and sold the rights to cover the event to the British magazine OK. The journalists were very interested in the couple, largely because of the large age difference. A fun fact is that the couple were born on the same day with a difference of 25 years. Few people believe that something could come out of this relationship, but as life has shown, the marriage of two stars turned out to be extremely strong, although they had to go through a lot. Catherine herself calls the secrets of a successful marriage a sense of humor and respect, although apparently the marriage contract, which the actress insisted on before answering the cherished yes, played a significant role. According to its terms, in case of infidelity, Michael is obliged to pay his wife a decent amount for each year of living together. The exact figure is unknown, but the range is between $1 million and $3 million. In 2000, the musical drama High Fidelity and the thriller Traffic were released, in which the actress starred while pregnant with her son. For this work, Catherine received a fee of $3 million and a Golden Globe nomination.
I'm European. I say that to my doctor. I'm European. I'm allowed to drink red wine.
Oh, my doctor said it was fine when I was pregnant. A glass a week,
After my
amnio.
amnio, he said, "Okay, now you can go and have a glass of red wine."
You're like, I
had
need it.
two.
In 2001, Zeta-Jones appeared in the movie America's Sweethearts. By that time, Catherine's revenue was growing rapidly and amounted to $5 million. But the real triumph for Catherine was the adaptation of the Broadway musical Chicago. It should be noted that the plot of the drama is based on real events that took place in the US in the early 20th century. The first attempt at a film adaptation was made by Miramax back in 1994, and before that, the rights of the production were bought by director Bob Fosse. According to his idea, the main roles were to be played by Liza Minnelli, Goldie Hawn, and Frank Sinatra, but due to the death of Fosse, the project was abandoned. The director of the 2002 film, Rob Marshall, considered Charlize Theron, Madonna, Angelina Jolie, and Britney Spears for the leading female roles. And that's not the whole list. When it came to Zeta-Jones, she was immediately offered the role of Roxy Hart, but the actress wanted to play Velma Kelly. She liked the song All That Jazz so much that she was happy to sacrifice both the main role and her gorgeous curls, which she cut to a neat bob with perfectly straight bangs. She did it on purpose so that the long hair falling over her face would not allow the audience to doubt that she performs all the dance routines in the film on her own. Then, by the way, the actress said that working in a musical was almost as painful and exciting at the same time as having a baby.
No. I danced in the chorus.
Oh.
Well, that was before I met my husband, Amos.
Look, honey, you want some advice? Here it is, direct from me to you. Keep your paws off my underwear, okay?
Her Velma Kelly was loved not only by ordinary viewers, but also by professionals. For the role, the actress received a fee of $8 million, a nomination for a Golden Globe Award, and was also awarded an Oscar. The beauty arrived at the ceremony in a gorgeous black dress that did not conceal her rounded belly. The ceremony took place on the eve of her second childbirth. In 2003, the couple had a daughter, Catherine Zeta. In the same year, 2 movies starring Zeta-Jones appeared on the screens at once. These are the animated film Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, in which she voiced one of the main characters, and the romantic comedy Intolerable Cruelty. 2004 brought her work on the memorable films The Terminal and Ocean's 12.
The French police think he's better than Lamarck.
Well, he is French.
Let me give you some advice. Find out how you offended him. Apologize. Beg for mercy.
The following year, a sequel to the film about the dashing vigilante was released. Catherine received $10 million for The Legend of Zorro. But all in all, the film made a strange impression. It received negative reviews, although it earned $142 million at the box office.
I cannot believe it. I cannot believe I fell for it. Husband promises to quit, gullible wife believes him. How could I be so stupid?
In 2007, 2 more films were released. The supernatural romance film Death Defying Acts and the romantic comedy drama No Reservations. In fact, this was a remake of the German film Mostly Martha, which was reworked by the not-too-famous director Scott Hicks. But alas, it was not a masterpiece. Although the actress tried very hard and even worked incognito as a waitress in an Italian restaurant where visitors marveled at the resemblance of the employee to the celebrity.
Nick is an excellent.
I know nothing about him. I had no idea what...
Give me some credit. He was a sous chef at Il Treviso.
Italian? You bring a sous chef from an Italian restaurant, and I'm the one in therapy?
This was followed by another obscure film, The Rebound, which was shot in New York, Istanbul, and Paris. The hard work and childbirth left a mark on the actress, and soon Catherine began to show symptoms of bipolar affective disorder. This disorder is described by alternating phases of heightened activity and depression, and significantly impairs one's life. Her star spouse was beginning to grow weary of this state of affairs, but then, like a thunderbolt from a clear sky, the news of his own illness came. In 2010, doctors diagnosed Michael with a terrible illness, laryngeal cancer. All this happened while Douglas's first son, Cameron, was arrested, charged with drug trafficking, and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Here, Catherine immediately switched and devoted all her energy to help her beloved spouse. A year later, Michael Douglas publicly announced that he had defeated cancer and returned to filming. Catherine, too, plunged into the familiar depths of cinema. In 2 years, she managed to appear in 6 films: Lay the Favorite, Rock of Ages, Playing for Keeps, Broken City, Side Effects, and Red 2.
How are things?
Yeah, Frank. How are things?
Sarah? This is Katya.
Yeah, hi.
I need to speak with you.
And at that moment, the actress's illness re-emerged in her and Michael's life with renewed vigor. This time, Douglas lost his nerve. He said that because of the depression that his wife was prone to, it was impossible to live with her, after which the couple announced their separation and the beginning of the divorce process. Michael also hinted that his wife was addicted to hard liquor because of her condition. However, 3 months later, the couple reunited. As reported, Zeta-Jones underwent a course of intensive therapy, and she did get better. She resumed her acting career and appeared in the series Queen America, Feud, and Prodigal Son, as well as the films Dad's Army and Cocaine Godmother. In 2022, Catherine hit a new moment of stardom. In the Netflix series Wednesday, which became a worldwide hit, the actress played the role of Morticia Addams, the mother of an unusual and daring girl protagonist.
What is this, a kidnapping?
Would you like that? Because I think I'm up to it. You do move me. I don't know why, but you do move me. In unusual places.
Fans and critics who initially doubted this casting decision in the end agree that the actress's performance is worthy of praise. The duet of Catherine and the Puerto Rican actor Luis Guzman, who played her husband in the series, was particularly delightful. Despite a significant break in work and the troubles, Catherine has remained in good shape. Now, viewers can see her in the Disney series National Treasure: Edge of History. It should be noted that the performance of the actress has always been generously paid. Now, Catherine Zeta-Jones, once a poor girl from the outskirts of Swansea, is a very rich lady. Her fortune is estimated at $150 million, and it's not just income from filming. It is reported that 1 second of the actress's advertising time cost about 4,000 euros. Over the years, she starred in advertisements for Elizabeth Arden Cosmetics, the Visa payment system, and Alfa Romeo cars. A 2-year contract with the mobile operator T-Mobile brought the actress $20 million, and in 2019, she was seen in a Fendi commercial where she starred with her daughter. A couple of years ago, Zeta-Jones launched her own line of shoes in collaboration with the Butterfly Twist brand, known for its eco-friendly approach to production. In addition to the shoe collection, Catherine produces makeup, sportswear, and household goods under her own brand, Casa Zeta-Jones. Over the years of marriage, Zeta-Jones and Douglas have accumulated a high-end real estate portfolio. The star couple has a spacious apartment in New York with a view of Central Park, which they recently decided to sell. At first, the price was set at $21.5 million, but at the beginning of 2022, the couple decided to lower it to $19.5 million. Potential buyers will get a luxury penthouse with 4 bedrooms, a spacious living room, and a dressing room made in classic style. Apparently, in 2019, the family was going to rotate the property. They sold 12 acres of land in Westchester County, New York, which they bought in 2015 for $11 million, and managed to double the price. In the same year, they purchased a house in the same state worth $4.5 million. Also in 2019, an English-style villa in Bermuda worth $10.6 million was put up for sale, but in the end, the sale didn't take place, and the lot was withdrawn from auction. Catherine and Michael spent a lot of time in the house after the wedding, so their children didn't even suspect at first that they were growing up in a family of Hollywood celebrities. The couple has a snow-white villa hidden in lush greenery in Spanish Majorca, which in the 19th century attracted the European nobility. The 10-bedroom house is decorated with great love, its design is tasteful and discreetly luxurious. Many of the interior decorations and furniture were chosen directly by the owners. The estate is quite large, totaling about 10,000 square feet. There is a formal dining room, several living rooms decorated with antiques, which Douglas is very passionate about. The estimated cost of this property is $33 million, but since Michael's ex-wife remains the co-owner of the property, it cannot be sold. The Hollywood diva owns a black Lexus SUV worth $130,000, which she drives in everyday life. Douglas and Zeta-Jones were once spotted driving around Wales in a used Jaguar. As it turned out later, the couple arrived in the actress's hometown to participate in a golf competition. Catherine Zeta-Jones is a woman who impresses not only with her beauty, but also with her stunning determination. No matter what happens, she does not give up and looks into the face of any life circumstances, boldly challenging them. She is not afraid of experiments or difficult tasks. The musical Cleo will be released soon, in which the actress will play the fatal Egyptian queen, Cleopatra. What movie with this actress do you like the most?
Thank you. I had a wonderful time.
Unfortunate that it has to end.
If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.